Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, can you imagine this? It's only a few days before your cruise and you find out your ship is leaving from a whole new cruise port. Not only a cruise port at all, a completely different country. How much of a panic would you be in? We also have Carnival is sending a ship to Jamaica even though all the ports are closed. We'll find out why that's happening. And then we also have Carnival being sued over an alleged bedbug infestation. Today's video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. Well, you've often heard while people are traveling that all of a sudden their credit cards don't work or they get locked out of their bank accounts. Well, some of the reasons for this is that they're just not using a VPN to hide their information. Now, I always use a VPN whenever I travel. I just travel to Africa, to Europe, to the Mediterranean, all in the same month, and I had my VPN running 24/7 on my computer to make sure that nothing gets taken from me. Now, what a VPN does is it hides your IP address. It makes it almost impossible for hackers and scammers to lock into your accounts when you're doing business or making card payments, looking at your credit card statements, or even emailing yourself, because you don't want your personal information, your mailing address, your home phone number, your anything like that getting out to these scammers who are looking to just steal your money. Now, why did I choose Private Internet Access? Well, one thing, they have a no log policy, which means they're not storing my own personal information. So even if they got hacked, I don't get hacked, which is great. That's exactly what I want. Also, I can do not one device, not two devices, not 10 devices. I can do unlimited devices under the same plan. I always have a VPN whenever I'm cruising and traveling, and even at home, I always have my VPN running. So if you'd like to give Private Internet Access a try, why not follow my link down below and you can get 83% off your subscription plus 4 months free. Thanks again to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. So first off, I have some quick housekeeping news for everybody out there. If you've been waiting for a response about the Halloween cruise next year on the MAJESTIC Princess, we have that East Coast Canada cruise on October 31st, Canada cruise. A few people have been put on hold because there was a big mess up with doing the booking orders when Princess changed over into their non-refundable deposits situation, and I had to get all that cleared up and everything before I wanted to book more, because I want everybody to have a refundable deposit. That's all been cleared up now. Everything's been fixed, and if you are waiting for a response, there's only like 15 of you. That'll be coming this week, but if you're interested now, I have some more openings for that cruise. So check out down below. I list all the group cruises down below every video. And if you're interested, please contact us. You know what to do. Send us your basic information, what kind of cabin you're looking for. We need your names, date of birth, a mailing address, and a phone number. No credit cards or anything yet, just that information so I can get an accurate pricing for you. And that's my housekeeping. That's my housekeeping for now. Let's talk about picture this. You're sailing in a matter of less than a week, and you get an email from your cruise line saying, hey, your cruise is now leaving from a different city, a different home port instead of Miami. And you think to yourself right off the bat, oh, well, if we're leaving from Miami and we can't leave out of that cruise port, well, surely we'll just go to Fort Lauderdale, right? We're just down the street. It's okay, a little inconvenient, but it's there. Or at the worst case scenario, maybe Orlando. Maybe Orlando, we have to figure out how to get down to Orlando in time for the cruise. No, the email that was sent out to the brilliant lady for the November 8th cruise said it's leaving from San Juan, a completely different country altogether, which would also mean if you were traveling in a closed loop with just your ID, etc., now you need a passport. You might need a passport. Like, it was a whole mess. And to complicate matters, when you called into the cruise line, it was all happening so fast. They would just check, oh yeah, that's a legitimate email. That email did go out. And so they were getting mixed information from the actual helpline when you called in. And it turns out, yeah, it's completely was sent out in error. No idea how this happened or why this would happen, but it's not. The sailing is leaving. It's sailing out of Miami all the way to March. So we're unsure what was happening with this particular email, how it got made, but it certainly had guests on the Reliant, like absolutely, like the brilliant lady just panicked. And for 2 hours or so, it was a complete mess. I mean, the email came out and said, you know, we're changing your home port. Please make your travel adjustments to ensure a smooth embarkation day. Well, can you imagine you got 7 days left and you got to go from Miami to San Juan now and your flights are booked, your flights are paid, etc.? What a nightmare that would have been. Luckily, it turned out to be all false. Next, let's talk about the Carnival Horizon. The Carnival Horizon today will be going to Jamaica. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, Jamaica just got hit with that big hurricane, the strongest one on record, Hurricane Melissa, in that area. Well, they have passengers, but they're not going to stop and let passengers off. What they're doing is dropping off relief aid, bottled water, etc., medical supplies, things like that the country right now desperately needs. So good on the Carnival Cruise Line for continuing their efforts, even after their big donations that they made earlier this week. So great job there, and glad to see more relief efforts are going. It's always, very gratifying to see the cruise lines just always seem to step up in these situations, and when there's hurricanes and needs in countries, they seem to always be the first ones out there to help deliver all this aid, etc. that's going there. It gets there much faster than trying to organize flights, etc. And the cruise ships can hold a lot. So good on Carnival in this situation. And finally, speaking of Carnival, we have another lawsuit out there, and this one is claiming that back in February of this year on the Carnival cruise ship, they had a bedbug infestation. They said by the second day they started to notice itchiness and bite marks on their legs. And by the third day, it was their arms and on their neck, and it was beginning to get welts, etc. on their skin. And when they talked to their stewards and everything, they didn't seem to do anything about it. However, they said they witnessed a fumigation team in other cabins around them, leading them to believe that there was an infestation and that Carnival did nothing while, didn't offer to move them to a new cabin, didn't offer to clean their clothes or anything like that, didn't offer them anything. Now, we don't know exactly how much they pressed this situation. Did they just say, hey, is there an issue on the floor? Or, most cabin stewards are going to say, no, there's no problem. They're not going to say, oh yeah, we're littered with bugs, everybody. Don't worry about it. We have a huge bed bug infestation. They're not going to admit unless you actually go out and start asking about that kind of thing. So we're not sure exactly what happened, but they're saying that, hey, Carnival did nothing for us. We weren't moved. We weren't offered clean clothes or anything. And we saw them fumigating other cabins, which leads to an infestation remark. And Carnival, of course, is not commenting because they are in litigation. But if they were fumigating other cabins, it would be documented and record in their safety protocols, etc. They have to document this stuff. And so that would be a big piece of evidence going into any kind of lawsuit. They're, of course, suing for the cost of the cruise, medical treatment during and after the cruise, as well as emotional damage. Every lawsuit throws in emotional damage. What do you guys think? If you got an email saying that your cruise is now leaving from a completely different country, how panicked would you be if you're leaving in like 5 days? and or less, because you might be going there a couple days early to spend a couple days in Miami and find out I'm here in Miami, but my ship's over there. That would be horrible. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.